Hello, everybody. This is Pradeep Khanna from Sydney in Australia, kickstarting the fourth session of GCC or Global Chapters and Connections Initiative of IIT Delhi Alumni Association. It's a journey that we are on in terms of globalization of the association in a value-based manner, where emotional connect is only at the foundation level. And yes, this is indeed a journey as we have alumni from 1966 batch to 2020 batch. As always, this time also I have got a mystery speaker, and I'm delighted to introduce to you Rajiv Madani, 1977 BTech from Arabdi Hostel, who's been living in Singapore for quite a few years. Madani is a banking guru very well known in the ASEAN region or in the Asia Pacific region. Over his journey, he has worked with a large number of global companies, including FIS Global, Wipro, ACI World, Fiserv, Virtusa, and a host of other companies. He's also been involved and been behind the APEX platform, which was by Singapore Monetary Authority and launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Singapore a couple of months back. With this, a big round of applause and a welcome to Rajiv Madani. Over to you, Rajiv from Singapore. I want to
Thank you.
I want to hear from you, your perspectives in terms of the globalization journey of IIT Delhi Alumni Association, as well as where do you see you should be heading. Over to you.
Thank you, Pradeep. Those are very wonderful and colorful words. Really, really appreciate that. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, guys, wherever you are. I'm very honored and very happy to be in this group. I had, I was Pradeep Khanna's batchmate in IIT Delhi. And just a quick correction that inauguration by Prime Minister Modi was 2 years ago, but that's fine, So let me just give you, how I got here and what is the way forward, as Pradeep mentioned. So after passing out from IIT Delhi, I did my MBA in the US, and on the West Coast, I was in Washington State. You're not going to believe this. In 1978, when I went to Washington State, the entire state of Washington had only 5 Indian families. And, the whole state of Washington, okay, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I had to literally scan through, white pages directory, because there was no mobile, there was no internet, to find out who the Indians are. And after reaching Washington State, after 6 months, I had some Indian food after I found one family there. So it was that bad. So anyway, so I did my MBA and I worked for a company in the US called Weyerhaeuser Corporation, and I got into Forex. Forex contracts were a very big that time with this company. And then after that, I moved to Mumbai and joined a company called Tata Burrows. So Tata Burrows was in those days, the huge mainframe Burrows computers, very much into banking. So I was involved in developing a Forex trading system, which was the world's first Forex trading system with a touch screen. And I'm talking of 1986, when people had not even heard of, PCs and all that. So I built that system in SEEPs in Mumbai with a team of about 80 programmers at Tata Burrows. And then we launched it in Europe, and you won't believe it was an instant hit, because all the forex traders, markets move very fast, and so the keyboards were becoming a bottleneck in their deals. And so the minute they would just touch the screen, the deal was done, and these guys loved it. So, I had Switzerland, France, Belgium, all the Luxembourg, all these places, the banks just lapped up the solution. It was wonderful. And then I moved to Singapore 30 years ago and was involved in a lot of banking systems. Joined a company called FIS, or Fidelity Information Services Global, which is headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida. And I was with them for 17 years here in Asia Pacific. I had multiple roles, and I helped grow their business. And it covered every area of banking. So, cards, payments, core, retail, mobile, internet, everything. So it was really a good journey. And then I joined a company called Wipro for about 3 years, did a lot of system integration projects, moved to a company called ACI Worldwide. ACI Worldwide actually is headquartered in Naples, Florida. And they are a well-kept secret in payments. Actually, they are one of the world's largest payments companies, but not very many people know them. If you ever use an ATM, which I'm sure everybody has used, that ATM is actually connected to one of the solution from this ACI. And globally, all the huge thousands and thousands of banks use this software. Then I moved to Fiserv, and Fiserv is another banking software company. It's headquartered, used to be headquartered in Minneapolis, but now it's moved to another, it's trying to locate its headquarters. So Fiserv is well known in the banking industry, and very famous for setting up the digital banks. Everybody's talking about digital banking, and the new banks, the challenger banks. So Fiserv launched some of these challenger banks in London. There's a bank called Tandem Bank. So I was involved in that to understand how a digital bank is set up from scratch. And then I got that model to Asia, and I have since launched a couple of digital banks. And 3 years ago, I joined a company called Virtusa, which is headquartered in Boston, run by a Sri Lankan. Virtusa was the company that acquired the Polaris Consulting division. And so it was great experience, because immediately they were bidding for a large contract to build the world's first collaboration between banks and fintechs, and this was an initiative of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the central bank here in Singapore. And what they said was that banks were looking for technology solutions. The fintechs were desperate for banks to buy their technology solutions. So they said, why don't we collaborate and create a platform, a community where the banks and the fintechs can collaborate? And so that's how the Apex platform idea was born. And I was the one who was part of the team that won the deal, and we launched Apex platform at the Singapore FinTech Festival, which is the largest FinTech festival in the world. 60,000 people, and Prime Minister Modi was there to inaugurate it. And it's on YouTube, by the way. You guys can check out Modi launch of Apex, APIX. And it's a really great journey. And I think what I have so far, I'm very closely working with Pradeep and some of the other people in IIT Delhi, as well as an association which Pradeep heads called VR/AR Association, or Virtual Reality Augmented Reality Association. And I'm doing a lot of stuff with the financial practice, community of practice for this group. And we have built some amazing stuff looking at how banking can go virtual. So, this is a short journey which I have, and I continue to work with everybody in the world to make this, a journey that is very pleasantful and and I would say delightful for people like you and me. So with that, I end. Pradeep, over to you.
So, one question which occurs to me, and first of all, for everybody else's knowledge, one of the things that I've been toying with is how do we get business and technology to work together? How do we get experience and the skills and the enthusiasm of the youngsters to work together? How do we get the rigor of large companies to work with the dynamism of the startups? And some of this I've been experimenting in the VR AR Association, for which I am the executive director Asia Pacific, where we've got communities of practice which are focused on different industry sectors. And what we did in the case of financial services was to blend people like Rajiv and people who have been in the trenches, who understand the financial services business, who know what the problem areas are, and they have the networks in those particular industry domains. So we had such experienced leaders and blended them with startups who are into virtual reality, augmented reality, who do not have the depth of knowledge of financial services. And we also added a couple of professionals. And what we have seen this group over last about 6 months or so progress from educating various elements of the group on financial services, on VR AR, dissecting the financial services into various subsegments, then looking at what are the problem areas in the industry, and then from working backwards into use cases. And now they've come up with a POC, a working POC of virtual reality in a banking scenario. And you will not believe it that this POC is now in discussion with the CXO leaders of various banks. Yesterday, I was also in the call when we had a CXO from HDFC Bank, who really loved what was happening, kind of a thing. And this is the kind of stuff which I'm kind of talking about. This is just one element of the whole thing, which can be leveraged for nation building also, for professional development, and a whole range of value attributes. So, one thing that I want, Rajiv, for you to talk about is, you see, what do you see should be some of the focus areas as we build this global community and also blend in emerging technologies and a couple of other things? What should be some of the focus areas for IITD Alumni Association? Remember that the community, 52,000 people worldwide. They are professionals in various positions all over the world.
Hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So see, one of the things I really enjoy doing is, when you look at any problem, and there's a huge problem in Asia which is called financial inclusion. You know, there's almost 400 million people in Asia who are not having access to financial services. Okay, and India is of course one of them, but Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, parts of Philippines, parts of Indonesia. So these guys don't have a simple savings account. We all assume that banking, we are all, we take it for granted, but these guys don't have access to financial services. And one of the things that I love to do is, and this is where I think, the global community can, with the technology knowledge, I feel that we can come up with some really innovative solutions using a combination of technology, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, whatever the technology medium is. At the end of the day, we have to uh, help a community or help a country to get its citizens in a financial inclusion model where access to basic financial services is there, and then the governments can send them money. Like India, you know Mr. Modi asked everybody to open their accounts, and now sending money directly to those accounts becomes a very important thing, especially like in this pandemic kind of an environment. So these are the kind of challenges we have. 400 million people without access to financial services. How can we use technology to bring them into the financial ecosystem? That's my thought. And I think connecting the dots, the strategy that I would love to hear and work with you guys is connecting the dots. How can we take this technology, that expertise in the global community of IIT Delhi and put it together for the benefit of these communities? That's my thought, Pradeep.
Fabulous. And this just very well, over the last couple of weeks, we've had number of people who've been coming in as mystery speakers. And we've also had some people, like you are an advisory board member on the Emerging Technology Initiative. We've got advisory board members on the Globalization Initiative as well. And some of the value attributes which have been highlighted by people like PG, etc., in terms of when they were forming Pan India Global. So the value attributes they looked at was in networking, in terms of give back to IIT Delhi, in terms of nation building, and in terms of business development. We add to that for some more in terms of education, professional development, and so on and so forth. But this is where, and there is a large number of members, especially who are, in the senior age group, who are very keen to look at what you are talking about. And that's where the power comes in of this group, because we're able to pull together people who have been leading different initiatives from different perspectives from all over the world. So thank you very much for joining in today. And a big round of applause for Rajiv, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajiv, and we'll touch base later.
I'll log out now. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome to join. I mean, this is an open forum meeting anyway. It's up to you because it's depending on your time and all that kind of a thing. But you're welcome.
I know it's very late for you, but it's also getting late for me here.
Rajiv. Sorry, Rajiv. I'm Ravindra Kumar.
Yes.
And I'm currently president of IIT Delhi Alumni Association.
Yes.
And what the Pradeep has taken this initiative is, is well received by even our alma mater also. And even many deans have requested, that they also want to come and address this forum. So it is a very good initiative. So I would request that you also stay, because you are talking about a certain financial, many of your younger alumni also will get benefited with your wisdom. So it's a collective forum for collective exchange of idea and sharing the wisdom. So if it's possible, please stay back. And because this initiative, this year only we started, when Pradeep had joined, and it's well received. So I thought, let us keep the memento up. Even I know that you must be busy, but I request that if you stay back, it will be a help to our community. Thank you. Choice is yours, but it's a request.
I'll be happy to stay back for some time because I have a few things which I have to take care of, especially because tomorrow is a Monday. It's 9:15 here at night. And I have a few emails that I have to shoot out before tomorrow morning. so I'll stay for about maybe 20 more minutes, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. You can leave if it is there.
And also, Rajiv, I will include you into the mailing list. And as and when you can make it, please do join in. Okay?
Okay, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv.
So now I move across to the next item on the agenda today, and that is to, get Amandeep from Japan to talk about what are his plans for Japan, when is he, how many people are there from IIT Delhi in Japan that he's in touch with, what about opening a chapter in Japan. So it's over to you, Amandeep.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Do you have that presentation, or I should?
You should share it. What you sent me is now, I am following actually Harinder from Montreal's suggestion, where I'm asking every speaker to send me his presentation in advance. So
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay, so sorry. Okay. Hi, everyone. Meanwhile, I open my presentation. So this is Amandeep Singh. I'm 2015 batch from BTech 2015 batch, and right now I'm based out of Japan, and I'm working at Honda. I'm overseeing corporate planning. I'm overseeing venture partnerships, and it's been really fortunate to have permission from IIT Delhi Alumni Association under the guidance of Pradeep sir that we are going to do some chapter launch and stuff. So is my presentation online already
No,
so that I can just
yes, now it is. It is.
okay,
Now,
so I can
before you start, no, now, yes, now, yes, now it
okay,
is. No, 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 it's moved by 90. Yes, now it is okay.
yeah, it's
Okay, so
now
now
it's
just
okay.
one question before you start, Amandeep, is that your
Yes, tell me,
hairstyle
sir.
and your beard, is this the COVID edition or is it the regular Amandeep?
Uh, Actually, it's I think regular since past 2 years, to be honest.
Fabulous.
And yeah, before that it was very different. If someone lands on my Facebook profile, no way you guys can recognize me.
So if somebody had seen me about 2 days before, I would have been also looking like you. But then my wife forced me to order a trimmer online because I haven't even visited a barber for 5 months. And I got the trimmer, and you have a transformed Pradeep Khanna in front of you. Back to you.
That's the difference, sir. I don't have a wife, so maybe someday somebody will order a trimmer for me, right?
Lovely. Over to you.
And very happy to see you back, Pradeep, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so not wasting much time. So just let me. So very quick updates. I won't take much time, just 4 or 5 minutes. So I have in June before that, I already shared a list of around 30 IDD alumni who are part of Japan community, and already shared this list with the IDDAA. And in June, before our GCC concept was starting, we already started forming a team where I have three of my one my junior and two seniors, because my philosophy is to have people from every year or each kind of band so that they can add value to the system. And they are trying to think how we can make this thing our group, because we have alumni association group since 2015 when 4 people from ITD came here. I was one of them, and we do have a pan IIT group in which we did a couple of seminars. There are a lot of stuffs are happening, and this is the backstage story. And we also have Anil sir joined us as an advisor. He has been giving a lot of advice, and he has very good connects with people in India and people who are related with India and Japan ecosystem. Apart from that, I'm also in touch with Surinder sir and Vijay sir, who are in ID Delhi Alumni Association Canada chapter, and they already did a lot of stuff that we want to do. So they are a good touch point. They have their constitution bylaws, so they agreed to share with me what kind of process we can follow. So these are the quick updates, and if we want, we can discuss more. And a day before, I had a talk with Ravinder sir. He asked me, are there numbers in Korea? Are there numbers in East Asia? So right now, yeah, there are some numbers in Korea and Taiwan and in China of our ITD alumni. But we were thinking something like, if we have some local chapter in this region. So I figured out there are pan IIT organizations, but there is no local chapters. So it's a good way forward to start with Japan, or maybe we can start with Korea if somebody is leading there. It's not like we want to be the leader. That's another thing. But the target would be make those chapter locally and sustainable. So we are trying to start from here. If somebody has connects in East Asia, which comprises of Taiwan, China, and South Korea, and North Korea, Hong Kong, and Mongolia. I doubt if there are people staying longer there. But if there's any connect, that would be really helpful if somebody can connect, and we can discuss how we can add value to this this system. Apart from that, how we are planning to move ahead is, so the one thing, we do have couple of policies, chapter policies for our national chapters, but something that we are struggling is with the bylaws. And every country, every system, every uh, legal aspect are very different from countries to country. And there are some aspect of, because we want to keep ourselves under one umbrella, that is IITDAA. So what will be the balance, that how we can manage the bylaws, how we can manage the teams, and how we can add more value in that system. So this is something that we have to work on. I'll discuss in depth with US and Canada chapters, because they are a step forward, and we are already searching what kind of legal entity can be made in Japan, or definitely IITDA would be the final call, advising in which kind of structure we would be moving ahead. So that is the thing. But uh, these are some kind of legal aspect. The mission remains same, whatever we do with an organization or under IITDA, which is we are thinking on three basic bucket, which is community, bolstering network, and entrepreneurship. So in the community, if you see, already our ID Japan local group is sharing information of our IITDA alumni with the Embassy of India here in Tokyo. We have a lot of seminars going on until the COVID, definitely. So we did had our last seminar in February, in which a couple of luminaries from universities and companies came in, and these things happens in embassy. So it can be a really good point to go with a kind of launch event for Japan chapter for IITDA. That is the community engagement, so that we can make home away from home, because there are people who come to Japan, and it's not a easy country to settle in or go easy with when you first land here, to be honest. So but there are people who achieved couple of things without with support of previous IITD alumni or non IITD alumni. So this is something how we can create value for people coming in from other countries, or from freshers from IITD. So that is the community engagement that we want to bolster. And definitely this pandemic taught us a lot of things, and there's a lot of money that people want to donate, and we don't have a kind of system that we can pool into India through our IITDA organization or whatever form. So that would be the second thing. And finally, the endowment funds. I know people are rich in Japan, and all alumni are going to be. So we have to pull some amount into our endowment fund somehow. Apart from that, the two other things is the one is the network. So in this, the key is to make a kind of knowledge versus resource base. So because there are a lot of companies, this is a topic that I have talked extensively since past year. There are a lot of companies, even like my own company, we want to hire a lot of people, but we don't have a kind of platform where we can find quality resources. When India has a lot of good things, and out of IITDA alumni network we can achieve this kind of synergy, where we can pool up knowledge and human resource transfer between both countries. So this is the second thing. And the third is definitely being the third largest economy. Japan, lot of companies, investors are seeing in emerging economies to invest, partner with, share their know-hows and expertise. So this IITDA already through Pan IIT and through our embassy in India, we are doing a couple of stuffs already. Institutes like NASCOM, there are some VC firms which entered into it. But because IITD is the largest unicorn producer in India and the fourth one in the world, so it becomes very obvious that why we don't have a system of alumni network which can add value to this system. So these will be our mission buckets which we want to improve, which we want to refine, keeping in view that we have East Asia very near to us, and if we can make some kind of synergy among these countries. So that's it, I think. So this is something, what are the updates and what we are looking into. And if anybody wants to add some comments, add any question, and definitely if anybody is in touch with East Asia alumni, so please let me know.
So, Amandeep, two comments and question also. One comment, I think, I really love the way that you're going about setting up the chapter in Japan. And also, this is really one of the objectives of having a global group so that we can share experiences, we can share intellectual property. Like if Canada has already gone through the process and people like Surinder and Vijay have been involved in setting up chapters and writing constitution, etc., why can we not leverage the same thing when UK is doing it or Japan is doing it? Yes, there will be local nuances, but at least the basic thrust of it, some knowledge sharing helps. Second is again in regard to looking at East Asia.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we have to follow this hub and spoke model, where we link up kind of neighboring areas who may or may not have the educated numbers to have a sector chapter, but we create a point of traction and a point of center for certain region as such. So these are great stuff. Now, the question that I have is, or in fact, two questions that I have is, what is your target date for opening a chapter in Japan? Number one. And number two, is there a prerequisite to have a legal structure by way of some registered entity in Japan?
Yes. So, Pradeep sir, for the first question, already we started our activities in June. I sent a mail. So the thing is, we are waiting for the launch event because that we want to have into Embassy of India somehow in Tokyo, and for that we have to wait COVID. And I was planning the event somewhere around in June or July. So if COVID ends, so I see somewhere around 1 month once the all those kind of activities are live. So that is the timeline for an official launch. So
Yeah.
So it's
right.
basically that as soon as you see, the COVID coming under management, the chapter is going to be officially launched. Is that what,
Yes.
or the
So
launch event will happen? Now, I
yeah,
suppose,
launch will
and
happen because already since
so,
June, so that we already gathered 30 plus data. We are welcoming people who want to contribute. So already since June, we are pretty active. We are thinking on the bylaws. Stuff's already active, but we couldn't do any event, which would be the main
launch
thing of
event.
the chapter, right? So that is the thing.
So
Yeah,
is it
one minute, Anil.
just
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
one more question that
yeah.
was in, do you have a prerequisite to have a legal entity?
So it's we don't have such a prerequisite, but I discussed with Ravindra sir. So for example, there are certain use cases. So for example, if somebody wants to, if we want to do any event, and if there are sponsors, if they want to invest some money, we want to raise some fund, and somebody is want to put some money. So entities, local entities would be more comfortable to put in money into a local entity rather than putting into IITDAA. So just opening
Sure.
Yes, so just opening an account on someone's name would be legally difficult here in Japan. Like in India, we could just get money and use, but it's really tight in Japan, and non-profits require more than certain number of people to open, which is 50, 60. But there is a certain clause which is called Special Help Groups, SHG, under which Pan IIT organization is also registered. So that kind of entity we can have, but it is not mandatory. So we can have some time for that, because when we are going for event, when the COVID stuff is out, we already have our one event done. We see the masses, what kind of value this chapter would be bringing in. Then definitely we can go into opening a legal entity as well. So that is a
So,
very secondary, yeah.
okay,
So
got
that
it.
is my personal thoughts.
If I take it, then what that means is that there are two aspects to it. One is that there is no legal requirement to set up a non-profit entity before you commence activity in Japan. Because in Australia and in some other parts of the world, there is a requirement that a separate entity has to be established before you can commence any such activity and financial transactions. The second, so I take it that from Japan, you have validated and there is no such requirement. And number two was, of course, that from an operational perspective, how do you kind of route opening a bank account and all that kind of a thing? where in places like Australia, that is a secondary activity which follows first the incorporation of an entity. So
Yeah.
I will take it for the time being that opening a legal entity is not an issue. And now what you're working through is in terms of operation and the mechanics of opening a bank account, etc. And question is that will you be having a chargeable fee for the members, like you've got 30 odd members, or is it going to be free, or what is it, the thoughts around that?
Yes, so we can have some chargeable fee, but we have to see what is the, first we have to refine our chapter's mission, because if we have a very strong mission, then we can come up with some kind of fee. And my honest opinion would be first 30 or 50 people won't be charged a fee. And once we become a kind of attractive magnet, then we start charging fees, because we don't want like, yeah, we are going into the pool and suddenly nobody wants to become a member because they have to pay somewhere around $10 or something like that, right? So we want to keep open.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here also, I not 100%, but 1000% agree with you. Because end of the day, we have to establish the value proposition. And I see in all instances of life that, all in terms of anything else follows through if you are able to establish a value proposition and a branding, and which is what you are focusing on. So absolutely well done. And, please keep up the journey. And, I've also involved, I'll get a couple of other people also involved, not for anything else. I know you know what to do kind of a thing, but there are people who are available as a sounding board to you anytime that you want to kind of bounce off ideas. And I will make a special request to everybody that people in East Asia, whoever anybody knows anybody, it will be great to get them into the pool of community that you're building over there. So over to anybody else who wants to ask any questions, and please raise your hand. Who's that?
Pradeep, let me comment on the this thing.
Yes, please.
See, regarding the event, see the nothing. We have to do the virtually only. So you cannot have the physical event in the near future. And we'll see the director and other people participate from here when you do the inauguration, because the IIT Delhi alum is only now the ambassador, Japan ambassador. And we have, last fall it has come out that we should have a pan IIT approach, or the Europe approach, the Europe chapters. Like, so we have suggested you have a bigger group. Let's not go into much into legality. Legality will happen once you have a business transaction or other activity. So that you can plan a stage, like Rome was not built in overnight. So we have to start slowly build all the milestones as we achieve. So like how we build an organization. So similar way we can go ahead, and as we have discussed over phone, that, and I have shared today with the Anil Gupta also, that overall the chapter policy, but still I leave to that you make a flexible policy and which adapt to your requirements. So but like we are, as I suggest you put in my the slide also, let's have at the country wise, like this country, East Asia country chapters or something loosely, where you can have a regional headquarter in Japan or Korea. Then slowly we can fragment it other place also, because you require some numbers also to have a meaningful activities. So that is my idea from here. And you can go for the virtual events. Virtual launch can happen. Even tomorrow, our Honorable Vice President is going to launch our Diamond Jubilee. It's virtually only. We are all in Delhi. Even campus, I have visited many times, many meetings I attended, but still, it is possible now to have a virtual event also. So you target when you are going to have a virtual event. Give me the date, because we have to do all the.
Okay, Ravi, Amandeep, you don't. Let's not put you on a spot right now. You can come back in a week's time, and I will put a $1 bet that is the vaccine going to come out earlier, or is the Japan chapter going to be launched earlier? And I'm putting my $1 onto the Japan chapter. Okay, so now, thank you, Ravi. And now Vijay has raised his hand for a question. So over to Vijay. Vijay, Ivali.
Yeah. Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Now we can.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks for giving me time.
Vijay,
So regarding
Vijay, can you just introduce yourself? You are from.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Vijay Evalli from Toronto, Canada. 1977 IIT Delhi Jwala, and I'm past president of IIT Delhi Alumni, not IIT Delhi, IIT Alumni Canada in 2016. So with my experience, I would like to give some say some things for the Japanese chapter. One thing is keep the initial membership free. That will entice people to join. So maybe here what we do is the first year is free. So the people will join. So after the first year, we charge them either yearly or they can become a life member. So this will be some inducement for the people to join. You can give maybe 1 year plus the next full year, whenever they join. The second point I want to make is like there has to be a formal event to launch it, as Ravindra Kumar also said. So my suggestion is to involve the Japan-India ambassador and India-Japan ambassadors in the virtual meet. So that will give us also a fillip to encourage ourselves to target date and make it more formal and involve more people. Maybe the business association, like in Toronto, we have Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce. So maybe something in Japan as well, but that I leave it to the local people. Yeah, those are the 2-3 points I wanted to make.
Thank you very much.
That's really helpful, sir. That's really helpful.
Now, I also noticed that Anil Gupta has raised his hand. So over to you, Anil.
Thanks, Pradeep. I really appreciate Amandeep has been spending a lot of time and we've been discussing also. So his basic ideas are perfectly fine. And Japan is a little different country altogether. Virtual thing is not that much in even today. But if we can have the ambassador or utilize good offices of IITD Alumni Association. I also know Ambassador Verma. And if we say that IIT director is going to participate in this and Alumni Association President Ravinder is going to participate, then, and we tell this to the ambassador and we want him to come and launch, then if the movement is done in this way, then the ambassador will agree. And once the ambassador agrees, then everything will fall in place. Then a lot of Japanese companies, even Honda, in which Amandeep works, they're very senior folks. NEC, where I worked for a very long time, they're senior folks. And then other IIT Delhi alumni, because if it's a virtual event, then it is very easy in terms of adding numbers. So all the IIT Delhi alumni people can then request, Amandeep says about 30 odd he has got connected to. When I was there, I have hardly any connect in IIT Delhi alumni, Delhi people, but they're not there. Only one of our batchmates, Pradeep, Gaurav Majumdar, is there with a Japanese wife, and he is well settled in Kyushu right now. So I'm trying to reach him, most probably next week. I'll reach him and connect him to Amandeep. So with that, I think things will move. And as Vijay Valli said, that we have to make it free for the first year. And rather, I would say it depends on how Amandeep, along with his 4 people, want to take a call. It could be a voluntary, in the sense somebody wants to put in something because Japan, everybody has enough money. And if somebody says that you just want to put in $10 each to start with as a token money for membership, so be it. But that call can be taken by the, local Amandeep, who's coordinating this whole activity. So these are my few words. And I think virtual thing is a very good idea, but it will only happen if a lot of initiative and push is done from formal channels like embassy and ambassador, and then through IIT Delhi director and alumni president. And of course, Pradeep, you yourself. Then these things will will move faster. And we can use Pradeep Kapoor's reach, who's the next ambassador. And IFS, everybody knows him. Ambassador Verma also knows him quite well. So that, then it will click.
Fabulous. And just for everybody's information, Anil Gupta is 1977 BTech. He spent a lot of time in Japan, and he is the advisory board member from GCC and has allocation of Japan and now the Eastern Asia countries, which he is mentoring. And for everybody, the interesting bit, Anil, if you want to just say hi to everybody. And for everybody's information, Vijay Ajvili, Anil Gupta, Rajiv Madani, Ambassador Anil Kapoor, Shashi Chawla, we are all
Pradeep
77.
Kapoor.
Pradeep Kapoor, we are all 1977 batch. Okay, so
And Pradeep Khanna.
and Pradeep Khanna. So thank you very much, Anil. And now the next item on the agenda today is our dear friend Ravindra. Ravi, what updates do you have to get? Ravi is the president of IIT Delhi Alumni Association. So over to you, Ravi. And of course, a big round of applause to both Aman and Anil Gupta for the excellent work happening in Japan. So over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you. Wish you all very, very happy Independence Day. And I'm very proud to share that you already have received the email that our alma mater is now celebrating the Diamond Jubilee, and function will tomorrow. There's a formal launch morning 10 o'clock by Honorable Vice President of India and our Honorable HRD Minister, and Director will be there. Then there's some sessions are there. Already we have shared the email and WhatsApp with you. And I would request you that all you and your network, let everybody participate, because director has around around 11 o'clock in the night, he has wrote me one mail. Ravindra Kumar, please involve our alumni in this event. And so definitely we all alumni comes together, how many person are there, everybody is monitoring when any event is there. So I would request all of you, even you are not received the proper communication also, still I request all of you that tomorrow launch is there 10 o'clock, but there will be time constraint for you guys to attend, but this is my request from being as a president of IIT Delhi Alumni Association, and on behalf of our alma mater also. So that is one thing. And so that is a major event, and it will start from, it was supposed to start from today, because today being a Sunday, it is not there. Normally in 16th August, we have one called Institutional Day. IIT Delhi celebrates 16th August as an institutional day. And we organize a lot of lectures series from the alumni and from other distinguished speakers, from other subject expert. So, but since being a Sunday, they have, from Monday they are starting the event. So, but the commencing will be there from the time period, this from start to today till and on 15th August of 2021. So that's the one part, this is one update. The second thing I would like to share you, I'm announcing first time in this forum only. I just discussed with my other colleague, Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, who's like me and Pradeep, is executive committee member, and I have seen one more, Mr. Manish Jaiswal, he is also executive committee member. He is also in this group. He's also right now online presenting in this group. So what this year I in speech to GB, general body has said that I am going to start one new faculty day, which will acknowledge the contribution made by our teachers already. And UNESCO has identified 5th October. UNESCO has identified 5th October as a World's Teacher Day, and it's in practice for past so many decades. But at the same time, they have identified 2 more Teachers Day. One is Guru Purnima. Second is the 5th September. That's also Teachers Day, Dr. Radhakrishnan Sarapalli birthday. So there are three three options are available. And I thought, since we are a global community, so I just put a word with my colleague, Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, that we'll because he's a convener of the subcommittee, which I constituted this year for the having our first annual faculty day. So 5th October, I have narrowed down, and the reason which I think is that we are a global community. So once we align our celebration with the World's Teachers Day, or it is called International Teachers Day, then I think the participation will be more, and it will recognize two categories of the alumni, those who themselves are faculty, and there are our faculty who are taught in our alma mater also. It should be combined, both the group. So that is one thing I want to share with you. Dr. Ijaz Ahmed is also there. He will also say a few words how he wants to take it out further. And he will, once I complete, he will also have a few words with you. Then and I'll share you the UNESCO has put this this theme here this year: teachers leading in crisis, reimaging the future. This is in the background of COVID-19. This is a theme for this year. So we'll also adopt the same theme for our activities. Then secondly, this year, this year we have started civil services. Those who are qualified for civil services, we have recognized their contribution also as achievement to IIT Delhi Alumni Association. So this year, around 5% of qualified civil servants are from IIT Delhi. So 5% from a single institute, from your alma mater, 5% out of so many universities across the India is a big number. And this year, the third rank secured by Pratibha Verma. This is also our alumni. They also require a big round of applause as they brought a glory to our institutes. So because they also play a very big role in the public policy later part of the year. So we have taken this initiative, and my other colleague, Mr. Manish Jaiswal, he is also executive committee member. He took the initiative, and we'll have a formal one more webinar along with them, the senior alumni, and this will connect senior and those who are just recently qualified. Those senior alumni who are civil servant and those who are just this year qualified. So we'll have one group interaction, exchanging idea how they can become a very good civil servant. They can learn from the experience of their own senior alumni. So that is the one idea I have proposed this time, and Mr. Manish Jaiswal has taken the lead. I'm very thankful to Manish Jaiswal, and if he is ready to say few words, depend on how the Pradeep allotted time, because this Ijaz, me and Manish are just step in here, so that I leave to Pradeep, but I acknowledge the role played by the Ms. Manish Jaiswal also in this. So that is the, in the number there are 42 candidates, and percentage wise is around 5%. Now, one more thing which I have discussed earlier also, I am a member of the screening committee of IIT Delhi, which scrutinizes the Distinguished Alumni Awards. So we have Outstanding Contribution National Development is an award given by the IIT Delhi Alumni Association. That is one award. Another award is IIT Delhi, our alma mater, gives to as a Distinguished Alumni Award. I mean, those are alumni who has done good thing in the life, but how they have distinguished themselves from the other alumni. So this award, I was the one of the member, and I represent the alumni. Only 16 numbers came for the scrutiny, and I told them that 16. Even I got around 69 nomination as an alumni association. I got 69 separate individual name for scrutiny, and alma mater is only receiving 16 number. So I thought there is some mismatch. There was some awareness is not there among the alumni. So I told we will again request our alumni to send their nomination. So I would request you, those who know your batchmates, those who know in your circle, those who have made outstanding contribution to the as an alumni anywhere in the world. I mean, they can be in India or in the foreign. A lot of foreign nominations are there. Only one nomination is required. You can nominate if anybody in your knowledge who has done who has who has distinguished himself from other alumni by his way of research or social contribution. So that is one thing. Third, which is alumni award only, that is global contribution award given by the alumni. But our purpose is to recognize service and give more engagement. So if you see the status of the alumni, IIT Delhi Alumni Award is like a Bharat Ratna. They are the highest award. But apart from like Padam Vibhushan, Padam Bhushan, or Padam Shri, all the other category awards will be like given by us. So our focus more of engagement and recognition. But IIT Delhi is only their only criteria has to be really distinguished. And I'll tell you the certain criteria. Normally, any name comes, they first do the Google, whether anything is available. Suppose you are not done Google ad marketing or search optimization, my name will not be there. The first thing. Second thing, they compare, like I'm 87 batch pass out IIT Delhi. I was a bureaucrat, technocrat, bureaucrat, entrepreneur. Whether similar type of a journey placed by, travel by any person, whether similar type will achieve or more he will achieve. So they'll do the comparative analysis. Suppose you're a professor, how many patents you are taken with your seniority. We have 15 years, 25 years seniority in the field. Whether this thing is really, you made a really distinguished contribution. You distinguish yourself upon your peer. So in a word, the peer review is also there. Like then other issue like bureaucrat. Somebody working as a DRDO scientist or some Bell lab, he writes, unless until he has some patent his name, or suppose he write, I did so and so things. So it has to be supported by his own fellow peer, group, batchmate, some senior, junior in the organization or some different similar kind of organization. So yes, this achievement can be considered distinguished in the category. So these are the some criteria adopted by the this thing. And since I was the member, I told let us not, we already selected 6 members, but I told let's have a more pool and have a more person. So we should not we have bigger pool, and then we should come to, we'll have another 2-3 meeting. So I'll circulate one more email. I request all of you to participate, nominate the alumni who are distinguished and should be recognized by the alma mater. And of course, we have already closed our nomination.
In the interest of time, Ravi, I will have to stop over here. In summary, what Ravi is saying is 2 things.
Yeah. Please, I think I'm through.
Please.
I covered all the points, but this is the thing. This is the point which I thought, because let me explain, because I was the
no, Ravi, in the interest
I'm over.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now the key message is, number one, that please nominate people whom you think are deserving of the awards. And Ravi will send through an email giving more information about this, as well as about the criteria, etc. Number two is that yes, in this year, we've had 42 people who are qualified for civil services, what are typically called as IAS, IFS, IRS, and all this kind of a thing. And they account for 5% of the total intake. And we go back to an earlier understanding of civil services, where we understand now the IITians in all are accounting for 50% of all intake of civil services. So I think it's a very commendable service. And considering that we do have Manish as well as Ejaz on the line, a few minutes by each of them, and first going across to Ejaz for the Teachers Day. So over to you, Ejaz. You've got maximum 5 minutes. Please share your thoughts. Unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
I'll take leave. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Ejaz. Okay, while we wait for Ejaz, yes, Ejaz.
So
yes, Ejaz.
I'm back. Actually, I have some internet connection issues.
Not a
So
problem.
I guess I had actually a PPT, but I guess it was asked to send earlier. If you allow me to show just one slide for the annual faculty day.
So I will give you Not one slide, but 1.5 slides. Over to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So this is exactly for the annual faculty day. I'll focus only on annual faculty day. So far, what is done is like the few people nominates the faculty and the awards were given. I guess it was some few years back. During my tenure of EC, I have not seen anything related to annual faculty day. It was Ravinder sir who told me that it has to be done. And what I think is that if all the alumni are involved in it, it would be better. Otherwise, if only few members does it, then there may be selective, like I may be selective to the teachers who has taught me. Some other person may be selective to the teachers who has taught me. So I proposed these three steps. That first we should shoot a mail to all the alumni who are in our database and ask them to send these nominations, that who are the teachers they would like to uh, nominate, or they would like to uh, say that okay, they are the good teachers. So first thing is the call for nominations. The one email goes to all the alumni, and based on their nominations, we will call nominations in three categories. One is innovation, and the second is social, because in my 8 years of stay at IIT Delhi, I did my master's and PhD. I observed that the faculties are usually categorized majorly into three categories. One is the faculties who are known for their innovation, R&D. The faculties who are known for their social work, like I can say Professor V.K. Tripathi, I used to meet him. He was very much into the social work. And the one faculty who is a student favorite. So in my time, I can say I took a course from the CRDT on rural development, and I used to like that faculty most. I mean, there were more than 300 applications for that course. So these are the three categories I am proposing that we should ask the nominations in. When the nominations are received in different three categories, we will create the voting forms. I mean, something to vote in the Google form under these three categories, and we will send it back to all the alumni registered in our association database, along with the link of the faculty's profiles. And because I mean, here it is also possible that we may get around 50, till 50 it is fine, but if we get around maybe 100 names, then we can have a committee later on to scrutinize that, okay, who are the most voted at this stage, the second stage, and out of them we can choose 20 or 30 for the voting under three categories and send the links to all the alumni. In this way, we would be better able to connect more with the alumni.
We've lost you. We can't hear you anymore. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Now you're back.
Yes, sir. So I'm sorry, actually I have some internet issues in my office. So I said that the first thing is nominations for the faculties. If we get less than 50, then and the call of nomination would be in three categories: innovation, social, and student faculty. If we get less than 15 nomination in each, we will create a voting link for each faculty. We will put their profile there and shoot all the alumni again to vote for their most, I mean, the best faculty for the innovation, best faculty for the social, and best faculty who is most student favorite. But if we get more than 50 nomination in each category, or more than 15 nomination in each category, we can form a committee and scrutinize and limit it to 10 to 15 faculty in each category. By this, actually, we will be able to connect with all the faculties, all the alumni from all the generations, all the batches, irrespective of branch, irrespective of year, irrespective of profession. So this is something I have proposed, that if we can do this, that would be better. And I would be needing your opinion, especially on these 3 points.
So thanks a lot.
Uh,
Some things which come to my mind. What do you
Yes,
mean
sir.
by Google Group? What is a
You have seen on the top.
yeah? What is Google Group?
That was actually, I said that as of now we have WhatsApp group. Actually, that was something I discussed during the EC meeting. So here, as of now, we have WhatsApp group. We have limitation for 256 people per group. So all people are not able to connect with everyone. Have Google group for.
What is a how do you form a Google Group? I'm not aware of how do you form a Google Group.
So we have I tell you, actually I proposed this here for the chapters that we have IIT alumni office where Ravinder sir has
No, that's all right. That's all right. I want to understand if
Yeah.
I Pradeep Khanna wants to form a Google Group, how do I form a Google Group? I'm not aware.
I mean, sir,
Anyway,
it is,
I will take it offline. Not a problem. But one question which came to my mind. Second thing is that you
sir, it is like just for example, I'll go maybe I'll go here, and then I can see this is groups.
Oh, okay, excellent. I've never used this before. Oh, good. I've learned
I can
something
create
new.
the group, and one mail goes to everyone. Like for my class, I have created. I can show like if you see my recent group. So yeah,
Oh, got it.
I have all employees group. So one mail goes to all employees of IIT Dhanbad.
Got it. No, this is. Oh, at least I'm happy. I've learned something new today. Okay, good. Now, second question is, I like the idea, of really engaging with the people, alumni who are faculty. Now, Seren from Canada is asking a question. So, Seren, over to you. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Seren? Seren, your voice is dropping in and out. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Okay, so you've got connectivity issues. So I've seen your question. His question really is that why can we not use the IIT?
That's the problem.
Seren, it's okay. Mute yourself, please, because we cannot hear you. So what Seren is? Seren, it's okay. Seren, stop.
The question on that.
Okay, now back to Ajaz. Seren is asking a question that why can we not use the IITDAA election infrastructure? So I have not understood the question, but I will have a chat and I'll get that tabled across later on. Now over to Manish. Manish.
Yes, sir. Am I audible to all?
You are more than audible.
Actually, no, I cannot hear you.
Respected President Sri Ravind sir and Sri Pradeep Khanna sir and all past presidents, seniors, colleagues and my friends. Good evening to all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Ravind Kumar sir, who has really has a broad vision, and till my experience, he is the person who has connected each and every guy of the EC members. He allocated some duty to everyone. I am also among one of that guy. Last year I was treasurer also. I performed the duty of treasurer. This year I was thinking I'll be a bit relieved, but President sir already given me some good task. He involved me with the subcommittee that has to take care of government IITDAA alumni is working in government department with respect to coordination and engagement. That kind of committee allotted to me, and in the same trend we started with this initiation. It's fully the vision of IITDA president, I'll say, and he given me free hand. Manish, whatever you want, you can go and try to connect. And in this series, we started with the 6 to 8 guides, and we have connected. I think till the list reached to our president, that was 42, and that within the last half half an hour, that has reached to about 45 guys that has been selected this year in civil services. We have full connection with all those guys. We are planning, as presidents are already told, we may plan something, a good webinar or maybe some physical type of program after Corona. We may plan all these things with these new candidates who are going to serve our country in the future. And of course, IIT Delhi also, with their cooperation and what kind of support they can give in the future. These were my few brief from my side, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. President sir, I'm really grateful to you. You are very humble, you are very genuine, and first time I met with Pradeep Khanna sir also. You have given guy opportunity to speak on this front. I'm really thankful. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. This is from my
Manish,
side.
thank you very much. But I've made a note that you thanked me less number of times than you thanked Ravinder Kumar. So I will keep that in mind now. Now, okay,
Next
Manish.
time, yes, sir.
Manish,
yeah, Manish, he has 2 more years to go.
Manish, one suggestion I have is that maybe
yes, sir.
out of these group of 45 people that you've got, get one of them to our meeting once in a while, and we would like to hear, especially the global alumni would like to hear what is making the IITians join the civil service. Just another
Surely, sir, I
perspective.
think this is possible. This is possible, very much possible.
Okay.
Yeah, Pradeep, already I have shared this message, but since I could not receive today's invite, otherwise I would have made them to join. But I put in a group, the WhatsApp group which I have, Manish also not, I put a message because just 1 hour, 1.5 hours back only I received the this link. So even I have put in the group that please come and join. Around 13 countries, the senior, our global alumni are there. But since the time period is so short,
Understand.
so, but we'll see later. Thank you.
But
So
that
this is 100% possible. This is 100% possible.
Oh, very good, very good. You see, it's all about engagement, because a lot of us,
Yes, sir.
and then on the same front. So thank you very much, all of you, Manish, Ijaz,
Thank you, sir.
Ravi, and now back to the forum. This comes back to the point that I was presenting a panel session between industry leader and academia leader, and two young professional and a student, where I had got the director IIT Delhi to speak at that. And when I was speaking to Professor Ram Gopal Roy, I mentioned a couple of other things also to him. I said that, look, you see, a lot of us who are living overseas have no idea as to what is happening in IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi has changed significantly from the time that we left. I keep hearing these words FITT, EDC, and I don't know what all terms here and there. So it may be a good idea that if one person from IIT Delhi joins us for the alumni meeting every week or wherever we have such meetings, and talks about what is their area within IIT Delhi, especially highlighting what are the special contributions, the special achievements of that particular faculty or department or whatever it is. Kind of a thing. So we have to, because I remember from the time that I left IIT, we used to have only one hostel called Kailash Hostel for girls, but now I believe there are quite a few, and then the female population increased quite a bit. So that, from an inclusion perspective, is great. Then the second thing is that from my time, entrepreneur was unheard of. But today, like who was mentioning that in the Professor Ram Gopal Roy was mentioning that every second person application that we read now, they want to be an entrepreneur. So, and we're also now learning that IIT Delhi has the largest number of unicorns. So entrepreneurship is very much a part of IIT Delhi. So we must know more about it. What are the support that IIT Delhi is involving? Why can we not get people from overseas, kind of engaging and partnering for this? So these are some of the thoughts which, both all of you guys can take it forward to IIT Delhi and get them on board. It's all about engagement. Our attention span is 8 seconds. And it is something for us to hold our attention. We do need this. Okay, so thank you very much. And now I come back to, you see, I had strictly targeted that the meeting I'm going to curb now for 1 hour, but we've already gone for 1 hour, 14 minutes. Now, first of all, You see, this is the fourth session, recorded session, although the unrecorded sessions have been one or two more. And we've been meeting every week to keep the momentum and really to start building up the initiative. Now, from here onwards, I will be making the meetings once in a fortnight. Now, there are a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons is that we now also need to go into small group activity in terms of looking at having a chat, the timings that we are doing every week of 11 o'clock Sydney time, which tends to be 6 a.m. in West Coast USA, and it tends to be 1 a.m. in New Zealand, as well as Saturday, Sunday are working days in the Gulf, means a number of people, global alumni, are unable to join in. So
Yeah.
either we have to split this activity, and this is always a challenge to find a right time slot globally. Also, it is as we've had on an average 55 to 60 people attending our meetings, and we expect this only to grow as we keep opening up, kind of a thing. It is not possible to have such large gatherings week after week on a virtual basis. So we now need to start formulating into small groups, which means that we now need to be focusing on to what each chapter is, what is happening into the chapter kind of situation. And all of us meet, once a fortnight, and further times ahead to come, we will move it even to monthly to see how the, now the critical element in this, is that what one of the critical element was that what have we building this platform for? And there is some great work which Manmohan, Sundi, with inputs from Ragi have been doing on the charter. Sundi had some other engagement today, so he's excused himself. I will ask Manmohan if he wants to talk about it. But you see, along with the charter which is getting built, and I have seen the deck, it is coming out actually very, very well. We also need to inbuild the value attributes as we transform ourselves into a value-based association. We've already got some thoughts along those lines because the community building is along three dimensions. Stage one is you grow the community, which is get more and more people. Stage two is that we engage with the community, and here we've got stuff like newsletter, awards, and again something which Harinder suggested to me, and I wholeheartedly agree over here is stuff like webinars. But I go more broadly into content and having an editorial board for a content which includes both webinars as well as newsletters. And there are other tools, we are having events and so on and so forth. And the third is where you move towards value creation as per the value attributes that we kind of define. So this is where what we will be moving on towards. And at this stage, I will also invite Manmohan from UK to share certain thoughts about the charter if he wants to, over to who, or if you just want to give a 2-minute talk about what is happening in that particular direction. So over to you, Manu.
Okay. Hi. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. And I can also see the beautiful sky behind you.
That's a picture of Russell Square.
I know.
So I'll just take a quick minute. We had presented a draft charter to get the discussion going. We took all the comments that came up on the chat session in the session we presented, as well as in a previous session. And now we made a PowerPoint slide with everybody's comments in it. And I think the next step is we'll put that in a place where people can access it, leave their comments. If everything is okay, we'll be able to announce the charter. So the next step again is we'll put that deck in a public place so that people can leave their comments.
Fabulous.
So
Fabulous. Thank you very much. And here at this stage, what I would like to highlight is that the channel or the platform for having discussions on documents or sharing or collaborating. LinkedIn is going to be the primary channel for this particular purpose. So I strongly advocate people to look at their LinkedIn and to make comments on whatever is happening. WhatsApp, which is existing at the moment, can be as best a tool for instant communication and of a limited sense, because as the thread increases, discussion thread increases, it will be very difficult to start tracking down documents over here and to build up the collaboration platform. There are other options also, in terms of collaboration platform. But what I am getting the feedback, and I personally also think, is that let's kickstart with LinkedIn before we start adding on any more channels at this particular point in time. So I strongly urge everybody, the EC members, to join. And at this note, can I also kind of tell everybody that there is a LinkedIn group that I have kickstarted, which is for global alumni from IIT Delhi, which means any alumni who's outside India. That should be our focus point, to get everybody into that group, into a single community. We already have 34 members into that group. So I will send the link through email, through WhatsApp, to everybody. Please forward that all to your all known acquaintances overseas and get them to join, because it is really, in terms of phase one, getting as many members as we can form the global community. And then the kind of stuff that we are hearing, we're getting so much of good news from everybody else. Let's get more and more people involved. Now, that is it from my side. Now, Harinder, I want you to unmute yourself. And, do you know that we have been trying to locate a 1966 graduate that we found out, who has been a former director with Larsen & Toubro. We're trying to get him across to speak to one of our sessions. I do want to hear, I know, my apologies, the last session, you did raise your hand, but you see, I am also getting older. So sometimes one hand appears as two hands and two hands appears as no hand. So my apologies for missing out last time, but I do want to hear your perspectives once again. And I especially liked your concept of having an editorial board. And what I have done is that the editorial board I see as a content editorial board, which is going to focus on both the webinars as well as the newsletter. And we have got our first member of the editorial board, which is Anil Gupta. He self-volunteered, and it'd be absolutely lovely to get him, and I would love Sanjay also to be part of the board. But I also want you to be part of this initiative, and also to reach out to other of your, anybody else, who we can get into as many different initiatives. But with that, I do want to hear that we are a couple of weeks into the journey, and I do want to hear some thought from you. Over to you, Harinder.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, K. Venkataramanan, who was a director in Larsen & Toubro and is from our batch. So I'm in touch with him.
Oh, great.
If you,
oh, yes.
Yeah, we actually, we are a Yahoo group. So most of us are in touch with each other through Yahoo groups. So we
somebody suggested him to me that, do you think that it'll be good to get him into one of our global meetings? And I immediately, when he mentioned 1966, I said that would be great, because we already have Harinder, we've also got Oberoi, and it would be good to get from 66 batch. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, there are a number of people from our batch, we are all in touch with each other, and we have had some functions together in India. So that's not a problem to involve some more people. As far as editorial board is concerned, yes, it's a very good idea. We do that in our organization, which is International Forum of Meteorological Societies, which are trying to build capacity around the world uh, against climate change and global warming. So running that organization as the president, I know a lot of things which will be useful even for our this current venture, which is creating IITDAA GCC. So, I wrote to you last time, we should finalize our charter, our value proposition, what really we want to do. And for that, we should get everybody to give their ideas. You already have given very good ideas. So we should then have a meeting of the executive committee and the advisors and try to finalize that so that it is out of the way. The other things, of course, we are having some of these presentations as teasers, as you said, in these meetings. And most of the time, people are not able to present their full case because of the shortage of time. So I said, maybe you can have webinars where very, successful people can make their presentation, and there's a question and answer period also. One person or two persons per webinar. We do that in our organization. And it's very successful because people get to make their ideas known to everybody else. Other than that, I think I am very, very strongly, although there are some people in our group who think we should focus on, certain things within our group. I am very much into, if we really want to make a difference to India, we got to work on their bureaucracy, which is destroying India. So we, as IITians, we do have some image. And when we make some combined statement as a group, it does have an effect. And, we, of course, always think, hey, things are not going to change. But, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती.
Wow, 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 wow. So lovely. Thank you very much, Harinder. And
so that's what I wanted to say.
No, very good. And picking up on that, two things. One is that the session by Manmohan and by Nemi was very well received by everybody. It was an excellent session. So as a follow through, when I spoke to Professor Rao, I told him and I sent him the copy of the presentation. I said, now the thing is that really, and when I talked to him, he also mentioned that you see that they have kind of analyzed to a great detail about ranking. And I said that, look, I think the value add really is how IITDAA can help, AA can help out in the process. So he's got a group which is working on rankings, and he's passed on that presentation to that group. And because a lot of action items are on IIT themselves, so therefore he's going to get back whether he wants us to give a presentation to that group from an IIT Delhi perspective. I also mentioned to him that, we are thinking of forming an international advisory to look at that. But because the session was very interesting, so I've already had a chat with both Manmohan and Nemi, and they are very happy to have a webinar on ranking itself. So we'll be kicking that off while we get this editorial board, because the sessions that we have over here are basically teaser sessions, to get the flavor of and to get a broad range of audience and different stakeholders into the engagement process that what we're trying to build. So points absolutely well taken, and I think I find them to be very, very good, valuable points, and let's take them to the next level. So both you will be hearing soon about a webinar that we will be doing on rankings, And likewise, branding is a separate subject by itself, which is not linked to, and there have been very good suggestions which have been coming through, but we will talk about that in another. The second point you mentioned was in terms of bureaucracy. Now, that is why the concept of getting the young people who are joining the civil services to, come and talk to us. And here, I mean, what I'm hearing is that we've already got a gentleman by the name of Sohan Lal, who is an IIT alumni, and he's got into civil services. So it'd be lovely for Sohan. Please unmute yourself, and you have 5 minutes. And we would also like to hear that what made you as an IITian join the civil services or go for civil services. And you're also hearing thoughts from Harinder. So how do you kind of balance these two? So over to you, Sohan. Please, and please give a round of applause to Harinder as well as to welcome Sohan.
Thank you, Deep sir.
Yeah, yes, we can hear you, Sohan.
Okay, thank you. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are audible. And what we would like you to do is to first introduce yourself in terms of what batch, where are you from India, and when did you finish your IIT?
Yes. So, sir, I am from the 26 batch. I have completed my B electrical engineering.
Your voice is dropping in and out.
I have started my preparation just after.
Yes, please continue.
You got disconnected. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, come.
Yes, Sohan, if you want to unmute yourself. Sohan, you are muted. Yes. Now
yes, sir. I hope I am audible now.
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, I'm a graduate of batch of 2016. I have done my BTech in electrical engineering, and I have not gone for placement and started preparation thereafter. In the 2018 batch, I was selected for Indian Engineering Services and allocated in Indian Railway Service for electrical engineers. And in the 2019 Civil Services examination, I have been selected with 201 rank. And I hope to get the IAS because I belong to the OBC category. That is the introduction.
So tell me, Sohan, you finished in 2015. So how come it took you a couple of years to decide that I want to go for, the civil services?
Sir, I decided that when I was doing my internship itself, because I come from a background. Which is so kind of don't want to say backward, but so far behind in terms of technological development, in terms of adoption of technologies, in terms of education, most basic services. So I kind of felt that the irrelevance of those things which I was doing in the technological domains, unless those comes to the common man. And I, at that time, felt the need that civil service can be much more effective way. And when I was encouraged by my teachers, especially even my mentors in IIT Delhi, I decided that it will be a good opportunity. It will be a good career option if I work seriously hard and get into this service.
So, Sohan,
it was not definitely funded.
But all I have to say is that
it was not.
No, understand. But all I have to say is I am so proud of you that you really want to make a difference, and you want to kind of get people access to the basic services which every citizen is entitled to. So congratulations, and really proud of you. And also keep in mind, comments of people like Harinder and, people sitting outside who are away from the coal face, but also feel that bureaucracy is, there are advantages and disadvantages also as you go through the journey yourself. Yes, how can we, I know that it is not up to one individual, but yes, how can we kind of, make the bureaucracy more responsive to the people, kind of a thing. Hmm? So I'm really very proud of you, and a big round of applause for the thoughts that Sohan
I
had.
have heard
Yeah, Sohan, any other candidate?
I have heard the Harinder sir.
Yeah, Sohan, any other person was there? Because I just saw your name, so I just wrote to Pradeep. Any other than you is here today in your list?
Sir, I have seen that no one is connected because most of the candidates who have been selected are being facilitated and kind of in the celebratory mode. So I think they could not join it. I even myself could join it late.
Yeah, no problem. I came late only. Even I also received very late communication. There was some communication gap was there. Normally, Pradeep is very meticulous. I am learning a lot of time management, other skills from him. He is very he's a master in time management. So, but this time some communication gap was because normally we have on Saturday this time meeting. So there was some confusion. So I have not given enough time to you guys to join. So I just circulate. I'm very good that you have come, and congratulations. We wish you all the best, and thank you. And over to Pradeep.
So thank you very much. And I can already see one message which has gone out from Harinder in terms of the editorial content. And this is what we need. We need to get everybody, all of us, but not only all of us, but the wider community engaged. With that, and keeping in mind that we are now 1 hour and 36 minutes into it, we will stop today. Thank you once again for joining in. I enjoyed the session. I particularly also enjoyed session by Ijaz and Manish, as well as by Soham. And we look forward to widening the engagement as much as we can. So lovely. Thank you all very much. And we will meet on Saturday, 2 weeks from now on. And in between, I will be following through for small group activity. Take care. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pradeep conducting this session very nicely.